Hi, welcome to the Bosch and Roll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Hello once again, welcome to another Bosch and Roll video. Get ready, today's going to be a long one. I have a donation deck list from Oliver Jukes. That is my English pronunciation of his name. He is Brazilian. I'm sure I'm getting some of those syllables wrong, but Oliver Jukes is how I'm reading that in English. Gave me this sweet Grixis teachings list for Pauper. And if you look very closely, you'll notice there's not a creature in this deck. The only ways to kill your opponent are this Lightning Bolt, this Evenkar's Justice, and that's it. So basically what this deck is trying to do, trying to grind opponent. Oh, there's a Fire Ice too, my bad. So there are 4 ways in the deck to actually damage your opponent in any way. So what the deck is trying to do is run an opponent completely out of threats with all of these answers that we have, pull ahead drawing extra cards, and eventually get the hooks in with Devious Cover-Up. Devious Cover-Up is a card that you counter target spell. If that spell is countered in this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, and you may shuffle up to 4 cards from your graveyard into your library. There's exactly 2 Devious Cover-Ups. You use the second one to shuffle the first one back into your deck. Eventually you'll draw that first one again, it'll shuffle the second one into your deck, and that's how you keep from dying. So eventually your opponent will be out of gas, out of options, and you just grind them into dust and hopefully start casting and buying back Evenkar's Justice 7 mana at a time to deal 2 damage to each creature and player, and they'll die. So get ready for long games. A lot of this will come down to whether our opponents concede when they're beat or if they make us play it out. The clock is going to be one of our main opponents in this entire league, and I'm excited about it, honestly. That may sound miserable to a lot of people, but this is the type of Magic I like to play. I played a deck a lot like this in the Pauper Premier League a couple years ago when that was run by Alex Allman and Kendra Smith. That was a great league, a lot of fun. I played a deck very similar to this, and I'm excited to get into this. We better start playing because we're going to be here for a while. So I'm on the draw here, and I've kept this hand. It's got 2 lands and some cantrips, some counterspells. This is what we're here for. The Thriving Land cycle is pretty exciting. I haven't played Pauper since Battle Bond came out. Or not Battle Bond. What is this set called? Jumpstart. Since Jumpstart came out. So that's a very cool card. Very cool cycle of lands to exist in the format now. Looks like we're playing against Burn. Oh, they missed their second land drop. I hope I can punish. I'm going to look for my land drop here. Oh, they got me. Lightning Bolt in response. So there's a few ways to gain life in the deck. There's Pristine Talisman. There's also a number of counter spells, but we are going to have to find some of them pretty quickly. I'm going to name red for this because I have a bunch of blue sources already. So Burn can be a pretty good matchup for some of the blue decks. Like if I was playing the blue Fairies deck, I'd be pretty happy with this matchup. As it is, it's a little bit awkward. Finding Pristine Talisman is going to be life and death here. I'm going to continue building my resources instead of holding up a counterspell for this Rift Bolt. Them being stuck on one land makes me wanna want to build up because I think that I will get to a point where I'm double spelling and killing them before they do the same to me. All right, now is where it gets interesting. Pretty sure I just want to upbraid this jerk. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have held up Fiery Cannonade. I might have been able to get 2 creatures off of it. Yeah, that was bad. If they play like 2 haste creatures right now, I just wasted. Alright, so if you don't play... Oh, shit. I also mistapped. I didn't leave up double blue. My bad. If you don't play Pauper, you might not recognize how scary Curse of the Pierced Heart is, but it is a huge problem for control decks like mine. I left up a counterspell, and it just didn't matter because I didn't leave it up well enough. So picking up Dismal Backwater will gain me a life. Holding up Counterspell seems better than not holding up Counterspell here, though I think I want to. I better check this Teachings package. Is there a spell that gains me life? There is Crypt Incursion, so that's worth 3 life right now. It can be worth more if they play another creature. So I'm actually going to skip the Dimir Aqueduct for now and hold up my removal, my teachings, and my counterspell. And if none of it matters, I can just use Bonder's Ornament. But that is pretty dangerous right now. Thermo Alchemist. I can't kill that with what's in my hand, so I'm going to counter it. 0-3, who knew how good that would be? Oh god, we're in trouble. Alright, so there's 2 creatures in graveyards now. I don't see a way. So they're Hellbent. Yeah, I'm gonna need them to brick, but I have to cast my teachings now. Get the Crypt Incursion. Teachings for Crypt Incursion. Dimir Aqueduct. Pick up Dismal Backwater. Alright, so that's... I can gain 7 life next turn. Let's hope I'm not dead this turn. Alright, they would have Fire Blasted when I was tapped out if they had it. So Dismal Backwater. Go to 5. And Crypt Incursion is of course an instant. That's how Mystical Teachings works. Yeah, look how messed up these Curse of the Pierced Hearts are. This board is pretty stable other than that. Alright. I'll take my life buffer here. Cast Frantic Inventory. Let's cycle Ash Barrens. I have the red I need. There's no double red spells. I have the black I need. Yep, in some trouble. Come on, Pristine Talisman. I don't want Lightning Bolt. I'll take the Preordain. I don't need these. Alright, another Dismal Backwater. Just realized I'm playing Mismatched Arts. I'm a monster. Alright, I'm gonna check the list real quick, see if I have any way to remove these. Like, is there a bounce spell in the main deck? No, it looks like I'm just gonna have to power through them somehow, which is not what I want to be doing. One, two, three, four, five. Can't even teachings right now. Curse of the Pierced Heart. My heart. My poor pierced heart. And my opponent doesn't even have to cast spells anymore. They can just wait. Just 7 answers in hand, dying to these 2 enchantments. Alright, time to teachings. So, how am I going to get through this? I need both Pristine Talismans in play as soon as possible. I could I think Frantic Inventory is the best way forward here. If their hand has an instant in it, casting Inventory here would be a huge mistake. So just take my damage. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go. Found one of them. I'm going to Inventory. I can afford to discard some cards. Pick up Dismal Backwater. I'm going to discard Fiery Cannonade and also Fiery Cannonade. All right, time to keep pulling ahead. They have one card. I'm going to activate the Bonder Ornament. They might be able to bolt me in response, but I think that's worth the risk. Backwater, gain a life. Alright, yeah, I'll just pass here. Discard Thriving Isle. Was picking up that Backwater again with another Aqueduct sounds like it's worth doing. Alright, Bonder Ornament going off here. That is a powerful magic card in this format. So I'm taking 1 damage a turn for now. Aqueduct, pick up Backwater. Just treading Backwater. Oh yes, please cast a spell. Alright, Devious Cover-Up. Counter that spell, put Crypt Incursion back in my deck. One of these Frantic Inventories. I guess I'll put the Preordains back in too. Alright, so Crypt Incursion's back in the deck. That only matters if they play more creatures though. I don't think I'm going to want this Evenkar's Justice anytime soon. I will die way before they do. Chain Lightning. Oops, that's way too much mana. Oh god. They did a good job trying to bait me around that one. Yeah, they know what matters here, and it's Curse of the Pierced Heart. Dismal Backwater. I'm just going to activate Bonder's Ornament right now, see if I can find my other talisman. The end of... Alright, I was going to say at the end of their turn I'll ice them, but I F2'd, or F6'd, and it didn't matter. Black mana. I am out of counter spells also. That's a problem. Found Crypt Incursion. Maybe there will be a creature in the graveyard someday. Yeah, if they just keep passing the turn without casting spells, they'll eventually win. Alright, so I'm gonna ice their land because I want to draw a card. Bonder's Ornament, not bad. Bleeding out, pretty bad. Second talisman, come on. Alright. Found the second talisman. Oh, that costs less than that. This is a 3 mana card, not a 4 mana card. No counter spells in hand though. Except for creatures. I would love for them to cast a creature. Skewer the Critics. Uh-oh. That's not a creature. Also, like, important to note how my clock is already super bad. I need to float mana in response. Whoops. Like, even if I do pull ahead this game, still in some trouble. Alright, lightning bolt you, I guess. Just have to discard the card if I don't. And I have a big frantic inventory in response to a spell. I could find a counter spell. About to find out. Got him. And 1, 2, 3, 4, draw a card. Cycle Ash Barrens. One, two. Oh, this is stressful. Alright, this Radiant Fountain will gain some life as well. Buy a little bit of time. I need to find the other cover up. There's 14 cards left in my deck. This Frantic Inventory draws 4. Alright, Justice. Chainer Edict. Swamp can be my discards. And yeah, I'm gonna Frantic Inventory. Let's fill this hand up. Basic land cycle this. There's no lands left in my deck. Teachings. I'm gonna get the Devious Cover Up. And I don't need to draw a card with Bonder's Ornament here. I do need to do it here, so I don't lose. This Isle, I'll name Red. I think they're going to deck me if they just don't play any spells. One, two, three, four. Yeah, having no way to actually attack their life is kind of lame. Yeah, just like a Gurmag Angler or something would have ended this game a long time ago. I understand the twisted appeal of having 0 creatures in your deck, but it's really bad right now. Alright, well, if they want to just cast spells for no reason, I'll let them. Alright, so cover up, target the other cover up, and the lightning bolt. And I think that's all I want to target. Not sure why they're casting spells right now. Alright, that'll buy some time. Alright, there's the bolt. Point that at your head. Alright, race is on. I can Teachings for cover up in response to a spell. So I'm not worried about that. They actually just can't cast creatures right now. Any creature they cast will turn on Crypt Incursion, and they know it. So creatures are dead draws. I'm getting virtual counter card advantage there. I think I'm actually winning this game. It will just depend on the clock. I found my cover up. Preordain to one card in my deck. All right, bottom, top. I'll pass the turn here. Discard. I guess cast down. Probably doesn't matter. Oh, I need to discard 2 cards. Preordain, definitely. So I can cover up my own spell if it comes to that. Yeah, I've drawn my whole deck. Just one Gurmag Angler in this main deck would have easily won this game. I wish I had one. I wish I had thought of that before the league. That's definitely a change I'm going to make. It's like, even if I am winning this game, it's... like, the clock is a huge problem. Alright, just leave that. Let that mana go. Play this land. I'll name black. And then I'm gonna Diabolic Edict them, holding priority. Cast Devious Cover Up on my own spell, and then put Lightning Bolt. Oh god. Just clicking takes a lot of time too. Lightning Bolt, Devious Cover Up, Fire Ice, and I think that's all I really want. Yeah, just put those back into the deck. Yes, use the ability. Okay. And pass the turn. Oh yes, please. Please cast that card. Alright, cast this down. Alright, Crypt Incursion is on. Lava Spike, huh? Teachings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Teachings. I'm gonna get Devious Cover Up. Then I'm gonna let Lava Spike resolve. I want to untap. Like, if they just triple spell right now, I'm in trouble. So gain those 2 life, cast Crypt Incursion. Gain 3 more life. Bolt you. Pass the turn. Alright, Pristine Talisman. I think I'm almost out of spells I can cast to exile myself. I guess I can Chainer's Edict out of the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna have to cover this up. Wait, what the fuck? I held priority. That's annoying. Now I'm gonna lose. Alright, yeah, it didn't let me hold priority when I cast Chainer's Edict to counter it for some reason. Cool. Alright, so now what do I do? Guess I have to Teachings. This does require black mana. Then Lightning Bolt, Crypt Incursion, the other cover up. And I guess I want Preordain just as something I can target myself. Yeah, and then they can just burn me in response. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is a huge problem with this list that it doesn't have just a creature in it. I'm going to complain about that for the entire league. So, Blue Elemental Blast, Negate, Dispel, all coming in. Okay, here's a creature. I want this in just as a way to attack and win the game. I don't think I need Fiery Cannonade here. Heavencar's Justice, no. The Ghastly Demise, Cast Downs, I like. Chainer's Edict, Diabolic Edict, Braid, all good. Cut 3 more cards. I like all the counters. Probably don't need Fire Ice. Probably don't need this much removal either. Like the Chainer's Edict can get out of here. And do I need all 4 Frantic Inventory? I guess is the question. I guess there was a point last game where I needed Frantic Inventory to pull ahead, and then it just like went bad. Maybe I don't need. Alright, I'm gonna cut a Frantic Inventory. I think it's okay. This Crimson Fleet Commodore attacking 4 times is my win condition. Keep, snap keep. 9 minutes on the clock. So I might actually drop this league and add a Gurmag Angler to the deck and come back for another league, which is not something I normally do. I don't think I've ever done that on my channel, but that is a huge problem with this deck. Like I don't want to make everybody watch me just time out 5 rounds in a row. Let's see how this post board game goes, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do that. Spike. Preordain. If I can find an untapped land, that would be great. Yeah, top here. Okay. Now I can get the Pristine Talisman in play early. I can play Commodore the turn after that. Alchemist, I can bash through that. Thermo Alchemist is good for a ton of damage. It does a pretty good Curse of the Pierced Heart impression. It's better in some matchups and worse in others. Like I think Curse of the Pierced Heart is better than Alchemist in this particular matchup. But I mean, it's obviously already done 3 damage being in play 1 turn, and I don't have an answer yet. I actually can't Commodore this turn as much as I want to. Like I would just die if I did. I have to use this negate. Just pointing it at literally any spell. Right, Alchemist has done 5 so far. It's done 6 now. And Fire Blast for the win. They're gonna wait for me to tap out, but that is a pretty safe play. Yep, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to take the unprecedented step of dropping the League immediately. I do think that this deck is very close to good, but that giant fundamental problem of not having a way to win the game, like I just can't do it. So I'm going to add Garmag Angler. I'm going to cut one of the two Avnkar's Justices. And now we have a real way to turn the corner and win a game. Plus the Commodore is in the sideboard. Do I want a Commodore in the main, I guess, is the other question. It's just a second 5-power creature and a way to be the Monarch. It's also a pirate, so it doesn't die to my own fiery cannonade. I kind of love that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of one of the 3 cast downs, move it into the board. And I'm gonna refire with this deck. So we're gonna get a bonus round of play with this deck because I needed to make that change so desperately. All right, into the next league. Round 2, that's actually round 1. And I'm on the play here in the first round with the new league. I don't think I can keep that. Yeah, this is a way better hand. Just 2 islands in my Grixis deck. I have the 2 counter spells, but in my opponent it's any kind of aggressive deck, that hand just dies. This one is a good keeper though. And I'm gonna send the Frantic Inventory to the bottom. Like, I want to hit my 3 land drops. The Ash Barrens gets me the 3rd color. I have removal spells to buy time, Pristine Talisman, if life gain's gonna matter. So I think that's a reasonable way to do this. My opponent's long pause thinking about their hand they're going to keep. They don't know how much that's going to matter with the clock considerations. I don't think this deck can bring a creature back from the graveyard once it's there. Oh, Devious Cover-Up. Okay, yes it can. So the 2 creatures in the main now, paired with Devious Cover-Up, should be a never-ending string of threats. The fact that they both have 5 power means that if we get into like a Devious Cover-Up type of game state, then they are gonna die quick. So I do like that package. It doesn't take much to add a win condition to your control deck. All right, keep this one. Send the Frantic Inventory to the bottom. Keepy. I wonder if leading on island or mountain is actually correct, and if it matters. Like, if my opponent goes island go, I'm thinking they're like a fairies deck. If my opponent goes mountain go, I'm thinking they're a burn deck. And how many decisions can be made in turn 1 based on that information, where it would be correct to represent one or the other, since I'm not doing anything with this mana well, I'm doing something, but it doesn't matter what color it is. Are we playing against Reanimator? Yeah, some sort of combo deck. Get the swamp. Just trying to save as much time as possible here. I drew the Frantic Inventory that I put on the bottom. Easy game. It's like I didn't even mulligan. So finding a counter spell at some point is going to be kind of important, because the sack lands are basically only in combo decks. All right, so another cycle card. Yeah, there must be something, some Reanimator or something going on here. I found a counter spell. Yeah, I think getting Aqueduct in play right now is important, because that's my only path to double blue. Even if they do reanimate one of these cycled creatures this turn, I have Chainer's Edict to clear it out. So it's not the worst. It just depends on if they're actually a reanimator deck or if they're just cycling creatures to get to their combo pieces faster. Like, I'm honestly not sure. There was a time when I could tell you what every deck in Pauper does, but it's been a while since I was really in touch with the format. Did we accidentally join a modern queue? Are we playing against Living End? So this looks like a good turn to get my Thriving Isle into play. And I'm going to name black for this. Don't need much in the way of red sources. I already have one. I'm not going to play my Pristine Talisman. Now that I have the counterspell up, I'm going to keep it there. Yeah, I am very interested in what this deck is doing. What's the plan here? Did they print some common in like Ikoria where you can return 2 creatures? Yeah, not sure what the plan is, but they're clearly aggressively digging for something. As far as I know, all of the like big cycling payoffs from the Ikoria set are rares or uncommons. All right, 1, 2, 3. Pristine Talisman, get in there. Next turn, I'll just ice one of their lands to cantrip and slow them down a little, just to get my hand moving forward. Or I guess next turn I'll double counterspell up. It's pretty good. Unearth, return target creature card. Oh, that's the combo. Now they're gonna burn me out with cycle spells. Is that the plan? Okay, I can take a little bit of damage here. I have Pristine Talisman, and I can answer this thing with one of my removal spells. Okay, I can see how this would work. Yeah, I'm not going to counter a spell that I can answer in another way. Like that's why I let the Unearth resolve. Okay. No sweat. So now I'm not going to ice them. I'm going to fire this Stinger. Alright, yeah, you're fired. And I don't have triple blue. Or quadruple blue. I do have triple blue. Alright, so maybe if that is their payoff, I should counter Unearths. Yeah, I'll probably counter the next one, now that I see what they're up to. It's pretty cool how many 1-mana cycle spells exist in Magic these days. Oh god. Now what? What do you... Oh no, oh no! What is this spell? What's happening? Alright, I mean, I'm gonna get got here somehow. Alright, what's the juke? Oh, there was not a juke? A hard time buying that. Oh god. Oh no! Reaping the Graves. Okay, so they're gonna return all of these cards to their hand and then cycle them a bunch. Okay, I couldn't counter that anyway. It has Storm. Alright, so finding the Corpse Churn is going to be pretty important in this matchup. Alright, so they can replay a Stinger with their crevice. They can just like pay 2. Oh, they can. Am I dead? Okay, not quite dead. This is a cool deck though. Yeah, I think I'm likely to survive this, but I see what they're up to and I like it. Big fan. Corpse turn's important, cast down is important. I'll probably board out these edicts for instant speed. Blue Elemental Blast is coming in to pick off the Stinger. I wonder if they can churn through their whole deck with the rituals at this point for enough damage. There is another Stinger in the graveyard. It's weird that it's not in play. Like, they had a chance to Reap the Graves that, and they could have just cast it and double their damage. Yeah, it looks like, oh god. Songs of the Damned? Yeah, I am dead. This is awesome. And it's not awesome that I'm dead, but it's super cool. That's a great deck. Alright, big fan of what they're doing. Now I understand it. I can plan for it a little better. Alright, so Dispel counters all their rituals. Negate hits the Unearth. Blue Elemental Blast hits the Stinger. Cast Down hits the Stinger. Suffocating Fumes doesn't matter. Chainer's Edict doesn't really matter. Alright, what also doesn't matter? So Crimson Fleet Commodore. I might want this just as a way to apply pressure to my opponent while they're farting around. Okay, Cannonade. That does kill the creatures. Alright, I don't think I want the Chainer's Edicts. Sorcery is not gonna help me here. Justice doesn't matter. Cover Up is good. Exclude is okay. It might be worse than the more efficient spells I'm bringing in, though. Edict's good, Abrade's good. I like Bolt. Ghastly Demise might be okay. Crypt Incursion is the GOAT. That's the plan. Pristine Talisman and Bonder's Ornament. I like the ramp. The life gain isn't super important here, though. So I'm going to leave in the ornaments and take out the talismans. And what else do we have? So I could leave the second Commodore out, but I do think that I want it. This pivoting into attacking them while they're cycling cards seems like it's a good idea in my mind. Maybe it's Cannonade. I have a bunch of other instants to deal with the Stinger at this point. Alright, this is the plan. I would like to play first. This hand's pretty good. I'm going to play Thriving Isle and name Red. Or do I even want to do that? Because I could get this Aqueduct into play. Like, if I'm locked to play Aqueduct on turn 2, then I would want to play the island so they don't know about the Thriving Isle. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. Okay, this actually, drawing that makes it a lot better to do this. So I'll grab another island and then Aqueduct, pick up Isle. Alright, yeah, so now I made the most efficient play without giving them any extra information. Uh-oh, Stinger. Missed their second land drop, we'll take it. Since I have Negate, I'm not in a hurry to... I think I want to ice this, actually. If you miss your land drop, I'm tapping your land. They can cycle in response. Like, this isn't gonna shut down their turn, but I'm taking it. All right, cycled a bunch of times, still missed their land drop. All right, so this is the type of situation where this is why I added creatures to the deck. Like, my opponent is just sitting around, not really doing anything. They've missed their land drop twice. It's turn 4, they only have 1 land. But I can't punish them. Like, I'm pretty well set up to draw a lot more cards, but just jamming a creature into play right now is exactly what I want to do. All right, are they deciding if they want to keep playing? What's going on over there? But I do have 5 answers to a stinger, and we haven't seen a different win condition out of them yet. Uh-oh, now we're in trouble. They found the second land. All right, I'm gonna cycle that for a swamp. I only have 1 black source right now. But I didn't want to cycle and play a swamp because then I don't have counterspell up anymore. All right. Negate this. Save the counterspell for later. The counterspell can hit anything. That also lets me use Aqueduct. And I don't need double blue. Grab a swamp. Alright, I would like to find a draw engine, like Bonder's Ornament or Frantic Inventory, Mystical Teachings. Alright, found an inventory. I'll take that. No reason to cast it now. I can do it on their end step, hold up as much interaction as possible for their turn. Yeah, I can counterspell red or blue blast and cast down this turn, which feels like it should be good enough to fight through their stingers. I am still impressed by how cool their deck is. Big fan of this. Let me know in the comments if this is like an actual meta player or if this is a complete brew, because I'm a fan. They're at some point they're just gonna start casting their creatures. All right, so this is what we trained for this. It's what we planned for. Oh, wait, red mana. Oh, they're just cycling. All right. I was hoping to get to blue blast something. Eventually I will. I am wondering if I should have counterspelled that at all, or if I should have just let it resolve. Oh, hell yeah. This is what we're here for. Now we can win this game. All right, double blue blast. That was the perfect draw given the mana available. And now let's see what a 5-power creature does on an empty board compared to doing nothing at all. Uh-oh. Danger zone. So even if they have the Reap the Graves here, I can counter both of the stingers on the way back down. Unearth, okay. So I'll blast this in response to the next thing they do. So they can deal up to 10 to me, just if they respond to that. Oh, they didn't even respond. That's interesting. Are they out of cyclers somehow? That barely seems possible. Oh my god. Only one card left in their hand though. If it's not a red source, then I'm gonna be able to control the stingers. Like I can counter the first stinger. All right, all in. Let's see if this is good enough. We got 20 mana, 7 cards in hand. One of them's a stinger. Oh, wow. So do they have a red source is the question. And then they need a red source to get their stinger into play, and then they need to cycle 19 cards after the stinger comes into play. That's where we are in this game. Everything they cycle is good for me, because that's one less cycler in the deck, one less cycler in hand, and they wouldn't be cycling if they already had a red source. So they're... And we haven't seen a mountain, have we? Like, Geothermal Crevice comes into play tapped, and that's the red source we've seen out of their deck. So I guess it depends how many mountains they play as well. All right, they can also just start casting Horror of the Broken Lands. There they are. Oh, and Reaping the Graves for good measure. Just put your whole hand back in your... Put your whole graveyard back in your hand. Go for it. This deck is so cool. All right, they are out of mana though. And I have the board as it stands partially managed. All right, they had another Gemstone Caves. Or is that what it's called? Crevice. Geothermal Crevice. I was pretty close, Gemstone Caves. Same seas, right? Alright, need a removal spell. It's going to be pretty important to my life. Oh yeah, they do have to... Oh my god. They have to click through all of these horror triggers. Alright. Removal spell. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I should play an untapped land just in case. I'm going to leave my blocker here. I can answer 2 of these and block the other. And I get a draw for the Monarch still. Okay, so I can answer a stinger. Counter target red spell. How many stingers do they have? There should be another one in their hand, I believe. Yep. Alright, so definitely in some trouble. So we have to see if they play a removal spell. They're also at 6 life just on their own over there. 24 cards in the deck, so they're in no danger of decking, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm dead to any sort of removal spell. Alright, they've used all their mana. Just go to combat. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna get to be the Monarch at least one more turn. You get out of here. You get out of here. Block. Yeah, that is a lethal attack. I better block it. Alright, time to draw some cards. Draw some helpful cards. Removal spell, Mystical Teachings. Alright, yeah, I cast one of those already. So let's draw two more. Holy shit! Buckle up, sucker. Do I wait? I guess is the question. Yeah, I think I could probably snipe them with this. Alright, 1, 2, 3. I can play Bonder's Ornament and an untapped land and still hold up Crypt Incursion. Okay. Let's see if I got greedy by passing the turn. Oh, yeah, I would really like to respond to a Reap the Graves with this. Unearth works too. Zap. Can't cycle in response because then I get those creatures too. Oh, this is crazy. I guess they could like Songs of the Damned in response to this. Like if they have extra rituals. I haven't even counted. I can't count this high. I don't know how many creatures are in their graveyard. It's probably less than I want it to be. Oh, I'm at 68. That's almost nice. That was pretty good. It's crazy we played 2 games already and Crypt Incursion is the best card in both of them. Or 2 matches. Well, let's see if they can kill me from 68. It could be possible. If I can untap with this Mystical Teachings and I'm still alive and kill the horror, I think I'll be mostly okay. Alright, they played another horror. So that's all 4 horrors accounted for. I'm at a zillion gillion life. Oh, I'm not the Monarch anymore. That is a problem. Forgot about that. Maybe I can deck them. Alright, what's in my deck that is helpful here? There's a third cast down. Yeah, I boarded in the third one. Alright, I guess I'll preordain first, see where this goes. Let's do that same thing again. Yuck. Okay, a Braid kills one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mystical Teachings. I'm actually going to get the Diabolic Edict. Because that's the same as Cast Down, but Cast Down's better later on. So get Diabolic Edict. Red. Kill you. Edict. Kill one of those horrors. Gain a life. Then I can kill the other horror next turn. Them being the Monarch is kind of lame, but not as bad as it could be. All things considered. Or, yeah, they're just at the point where they're sacking lands to cast a 4/2 creature. Alright, so I have Teachings in the graveyard still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I want to Teachings for Frantic Inventory and draw 3 cards. Okay, what does that do? Anything? 1, 2, 3. I do have 4 mana. I could also Dismal Backwater and hold up Cannonade, which kills the Rot Beast. Yeah, that looks fine. Maybe it would have been better to Aqueduct. Alright, but if they draw another Unearth and bring back Stinger this turn, I can kill Stinger and Rot Beast with Fiery Cannonade. Cabal Ritual, oh no. Casting Street Wraith. You got it. I don't have any swamps in play. Played around it. Alright, so the Teachings can kill this last horror. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Teachings. Find me a cast down. Alright, yeah, they're conceding to that Teachings. Deal. That was sweet. Their deck is so cool. Crypt Incursion is too good. What a world we're living in. So Chandra's Edict gets a lot better in the against the backup plan. Ob Nixilis's Cruelty, is that better than Edict? I mean, it is an instant. What would I cut if I do that? And I'm not cutting a creature. Like we saw that game, jamming a creature just totally changed the dynamics. Dispel. That can hit the rituals, but that's it. Like Unearth is a sorcery. Reap the Graves is a sorcery, and it also has Storm, so Dispel might not matter there. Alright, yeah, I am going to change the Dispel into an Ob Nixilis's Cruelty. Alright, let's go. Game 3 against this exciting combo deck. I'm going to lead on Thriving Isle. There's no need to preordain on turn 1. Or I don't even have preordain. I think I saw the counterspell and thought it was preordain. So I'm definitely leading on Thriving Isle if I don't have a preordain in my hand. I'm going to name red for this because I just drew a black source. It's nice that they give me so many turns to set up my mana. I'm going to name blue for this one. I'm going to cycle Ash Barrens in the end step. Probably for a swamp. Though, maybe I get an island. Alright, who's the cycling deck now? I'll start with an island, because having quadruple blue has come up already in this matchup. Right, the fact that I want quadruple blue some amount of the time. That said red, that's black. Alright, I'll get my second black source here. Right, so my mana's pretty well set up. They kept another one-lander, and I would too. I'd keep a lot of one-landers in that kind of deck. I'll get my swamp off this one. And now I can Teachings for Crypt Incursion, which should shut the door. I wonder if they'll concede outright to Teachings for Crypt Incursion. I could also try to maneuver this game to a point where I just have 7 mana in play. I'm actually going to do that. So I can do it all at once and get them. Surprise them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd have to discard a card. if I played the Aqueduct this turn. Like, I'll let them commit a little bit more to the graveyard at least. Like, maybe I'll just Teachings for the thing this turn. Oh, they're gonna reap the graves and punish me here. Maybe I should counter this Cabal Ritual. And they can still reap the graves, but I don't want them to have a zillion mana when they do it. Alright, that looks pretty good. Like, the fact they just cycled Architects of Will at the end of that, like the Dark Ritual cast the Cabal Ritual, and then a counter Cabal Ritual, so the Dark Ritual didn't really do anything. That was kind of a 2-for-1, at least. Looked pretty good to me. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just want to play this Aqueduct. That'll guarantee 7 mana next turn. And then I can do the Teachings thing. I just really don't think this deck can beat me if I leave up 7 mana. I mean, that was a wide open opportunity to Teachings in the end step. Guess I could lose to Red Elemental Blast. I don't know, we'll see. They don't have a Stinger yet, so there's not even really a payoff available to them. Oh, now they're sacking lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So I can, as long as they don't have Red Blast, I should be doing pretty good here. It's a lot of mana. Maybe that was the point where I'm supposed to Crypt Incursion. Unearth targeting this healer. Okay, I don't care about that at all. They can gain life all they want. Another healer. Alright, those both died to Cannonade. I'm just being super patient. Like, I'm not going to fire off anything that I don't have to. Yeah, they tried to bait me a few times. Didn't fall for it. Crypt Incursion. Let's incur their crypt. Oh, Reaping the Graves is an instant. Huh, interesting. I thought it was a sorcery. My bad. Then I deserve to get blown out here. But Crypt Incursion still countered a Reaping the Graves. Oh, no, it didn't, because I didn't let the Storm Trigger get on the stack. So they can cycle all the shit in response, and then the Storm Triggers can still target. Wow, I played that about as poorly as possible. Alright, there are still creatures in the graveyard, though. They couldn't get them all. Oh, they stacked their Storm wrong, too. Alright, cool. They missed that the same way I did. Alright, yeah, Cannonade can kill the healers. Alright, these broken lands are so horrible. Alright, that, what does that do? I don't have double red. Alright, I'm gonna preordain looking for a red source. Alright, Bonder's Ornament is a red source. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I have 5 mana now, so I can Fiery Cannonade and a Braid. Alright, red Cannonade, get rid of those, Abrade, deal 3 to this before they can cycle and get it out of range. Alright, and then if they can't do 29 to me this turn, which I guess might be possible. I don't even know what's possible with their deck, but they need to do 29 to me this turn, or else I get to teachings for a removal spell. Alright, they're a third of the way there. It has 10 power. Dark Ritual is a little scary. I don't know how many Songs of the Damned they played. That's the... Alright, they do have 1 black left. So they don't need to sack their Crevice just yet. Alright, so now they have to sack their Crevice or make a land drop if they want to make another ritual. Alright, 1 black left. Oh no, I think they're gonna do it. 20 power, they just need to cycle 4 more creatures. Yeah, I'm pretty likely dead here. Wow, I tried to play Disciplined and ended up just getting completely punished by the second Reap the Graves. I just thought that card was a sorcery, so I got completely blown out because I didn't know what a card does, which is completely fair. GG's opponent, that was really cool. I tried so hard, but their deck is really cool. Alright, yeah, you got me. Bummer, that was close. I guess if I had just fired off the Crypt Incursion earlier, like I really thought I could get them, and they just managed to string together 2 Reap the Graves in the same turn where they could still do more stuff. Yeah, that was really good. Really good game. I think I could have won it with different play. I don't know if it's necessarily better play, but a line did exist where I could have won that game. So not sure what to make of that. But close one, definitely winnable. On to the next round. I'm on the draw this round. I've kept this hand. It's got all 3 colors of mana and a variety of removal spells. Alright, we're playing against fairies. That is my favorite deck in this format. It's what I would play in a Pauper PTQ, or if there were a Pauper Grand Prix or Pro Tour, that is absolutely what I would play. There's some argument to leading on one of the basics so I can cycle and get a Braid up in case they ninja, but I have Cast Down for a ninja as well. Daze is no longer legal in this format, so I don't need to worry about getting dazed. Guess I could get foiled, but I hope that doesn't happen. Alright, didn't happen. The ninja was a 2-for-1. Drew a card, then ate a removal spell. Getting this Cannonade up will be good. At some point, forcing an exchange on their turn with their mana that they don't want to make. Sounds pretty good. Ooh, Pristine Talisman, getting that into play right now while the coast is clear, also really good. They don't know I'm a red deck yet, so I'm actually not going to cycle my Ash Barrens right away, even if it would get me that sweet F6 value. Do they have a second ninja? Nope. Okay, good. Ninja's the scariest card in this matchup on either side. Alright, get my mountain. Now the game is afoot. Teachings is too big to get Spellstutter sprited right now. Brainstorm, sure. See if they have the shuffle effect to go with it. I could Mystical Teachings if they tap low here. Oh no, that was just a regular old Brainstorm. Oh, they found a fetch land. Okay. So they had to redraw one of the cards, but not both of them. I'm going to Teachings in the end step. Not sure what I'm going to get, but I'm definitely going to put it on the stack. Augur of Bolas. Sure. Echoing Truth. That's not a card I care about, I don't think. They can't counterspell here. There's not enough fairies to spell Stutter Sprite, unless they have main deck Negate or Dispel. Braid, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty smart. I mean, Bonder's Ornament's probably better, but that's not a bad target. Frantic Inventory can start the card advantage engine. Fire can kill one of the creatures and threaten another one later. I think I want to get the engine going with Frantic Inventory. I already have Fiery Cannonade, which is the card I actually want. I'm going to upgrade Augur of Bolas while the coast is clear. And Frantic Inventory. Dimir Aqueduct. The life point's not super important here, so I'm just going to pick up a basic. Like coming into play untapped is going to be more important. Yeah, I wanted to pick off the Augur before they could pick it up with a Ninja. Like picking up Fairy Seer is fine, but it's not amazing. Like Scry 2 is not even close to put a spell in your hand. Uh-oh. Monarch card. Can't be blocked by creatures the Monarch controls. Oh, okay, interesting. Alright, yep, never seen that card before. It's also a pirate. So I'm going to have a really hard time beating that. If I knew that this card was in the format, I would have left up Counterspell, but I done messed up. So I'll Lightning Bolt this thing. Yeah, so now I need to get the pirate of my own. Yeah, generally, like, you just have to fight hard and forever against your opponent becoming the Monarch. With this deck having no creatures in it. I'm glad I added the 2 creatures I did, at least. Alright, I'm gonna let the Monarch trigger resolve. That'll give me more information. Like, it makes it less likely for Teachings to resolve, but it'll tell, like, if Teachings resolves, then they draw a card, then my information that they don't have a counterspell doesn't even matter. So yeah, there's the counterspell. Frantic Inventory, I can Fiery Cannonade in response if they try to spell Stutter Sprite. Get a sweet little 2-for-1. There it is. Pirate Clasm. Alright, that doesn't work. There's no fairies. Okay, the board is under control, but this Monarch is a problem. Maybe I can just deck them with their own Monarch. That sounds silly, but I'm not kidding. Like, if they don't start taking game actions, they're going to be going to discard. I'm not sure what else my opponent can offer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I wait a turn, I can hold up Counterspell. Right, that's 2 down over there. Nice. That one is a bit of a game changer. Now I have a monarch of my own in a way. We're both drawing an extra card a turn. That's all I'm saying. They have that Echoing Truth, but if they want to spend it on Bonder's Ornament, I'm not mad. I can draw a card on the way out. Another Monarch card. Yeah, I can kill this with Ghastly Demise. They're already the Monarch. That doesn't matter. All right, we're both in this game together now. Ooh, Evenkar's Justice. That's a solid one. So I can go for the Ghastly Demise on their turn and fight over it with counter spells. I could just Justice now. I'll fight on their turn. I have 2 counter spells here. Dispel counters that. Counterspell this. So I'm picking this fight now. Like, even if the Spellstutter Sprite does resolve and they end up countering all my spells, Evenkar's Justice mopping up the board is pretty good. Okay, Echoing Truth picking up your own pirate, also not bad. I don't have the mana to Bonder's Ornament this turn, and I'm not going to fire off this Crypt Incursion yet. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures, 6 creatures, so I would gain 18 life. These matchups tend to come down to racing, or like who can get over the finish line with the cards they have left. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's Teachings right now while the coast is clear. So I can Teachings for Teachings, or I can Teachings for Frantic Inventory and draw 3, and I think that's better in this spot. Preordain. That's not what I want. Okay, so they're going to get to do what they want this turn. And then hopefully I can Justice to clear the board the turn after that, and Crypt Incursion to get out of burn range. They've used 2 counter spells already. Missed on their Augur. Didn't attack with Fairy Seer. Interesting. I wonder if that was a misclick or some calculation. Like, is there a 1 mana creature that I could have to cast with Bonder's Ornament that I don't know about? Oh, that's pretty good. Bottom, top. I don't really want Diabolic Edict. Yeah, until they show me more pressure, I'm gonna sit on this Justice. Getting into, like, drawing cards with Bonder's Ornament, I have to watch out for the nickel and dime because that is their primary win condition. Okay, they have a ninja. All right, well, I'm already so buried in cards that I don't even feel too bad about that. It's really interesting they picked up Fairy instead of Augur. Augur's a much better card to replay. It's interesting. Alright, Chainer's Edict. That's something I can put on the stack. You want to fight over this? You just sacrifice your fairy. Alright, that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this is the Justice, Counterspell, and Devious Cover-Up. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I can do everything I want to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kill your shit. Please play another Spellstutter Sprite. Alright, Counterspell. I'll counterspell their Counterspell. And I'm still holding up Devious Cover-Up, which is the card I actually want to resolve at the end of this stack. Oh, looks like I didn't even have to. So right now, while they're tapped low, I think they would have fought over that if they could. Alright, let's gain a zillion life. Alright, I'm at 37. Let's go. No danger of getting burned out here. I am slightly ahead on the clock too, so I'm actually ahead on every metric except cards in hand. They have 5 to my none. See if going to 37 convinces them to commit to the board harder than they'd like to. They have 21 cards left in their deck. It's going to be 20 after the Preordain, 19 after this Monarch trigger. I really wasn't kidding earlier when I said maybe decking them is the plan. So that's twice. They've cast a Preordain and then missed on Augur of Ballas in the same turn. I feel like they could be using their Preordains better. So I'm going to name black for this, and then Chainer's Edict. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just get my value where I can find it. So now I can hold up Cover Up or activate Bonder's Ornament. I don't think I'm going to cast Cover Up into all this mana. Unless they play something really crazy. Does that count as something really crazy? Alright. Yeah, I'll count it. So, Justice back in the deck. Lightning Bolt back in the deck. Cast Down. And Frantic Inventory. This is a great card for them to counter because it matters so much. Alright, so that's all 4 counterspells done. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. 4 counterspells answered. I think they've used 3 Spellstutter Sprites and a Dispel. One, 2, 3, 4. Draw a card with Ornament. Alright, so the 5 power creature is pretty serious. I need to find a removal spell for that. And that's 1 less card in their deck. Another Brainstorm. 1 less card in their deck. They bottom the Preordain. I will counter any creature with this. They're out of counter spells. They can't get Spellstutter Sprite up this high. Alright, that's not bad, considering what sort of race we're in right now. So do they still want to draw cards with Ninja is the question. Like, is there a card that's better than... Alright, yep, they're still just drawing. Recklessly drawing cards. One, two, three. Talisman. Do you want to fight over this? Nope. Alright, good. Removal spell. Alright, that's fine. It's destroyed. Removal spell? Oh, because I don't control a Bonder's Ornament. That's cool. Wow. Yeah, I'm learning all sorts of cool things about New Pauper. Yeah, so Bonder's Ornament doesn't say tap draw a card. It says tap each player who controls a Bonder's Ornament draws a card. And because they destroyed it, I don't control a Bonder's Ornament. That's funny. I approve. Alright, another ninja. Yeah, this game really came down to that like turn 5 where I just didn't know about this hill giant, this pirate hill giant that makes you the monarch to exist in the format. I guess I should play the Dismal Backwater. And then on their upkeep, I'm gonna tag the pirate. They're out of counter spells. They could have a spell stutter left. Yeah, there's the last spell stutter. Alright, pretty sure I'm losing this one. Because I cut one of the Evenkar's Justices for the creatures I added. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they're not going to deck. I'm dead on board. Ooh. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm at 1. 2 if you count the talisman. But their deck does have Lightning Bolt in it. We've only seen one, and they've drawn their whole deck. Yeah, I'm dead to Lightning Bolt here. Yeah, look, 6 cards left in their deck, though. Like, if I had an answer to this 5-power creature, might have genuinely been able to race their cards in deck. Okay, I'm not going to let them become the Monarch this time. That was pretty bad. Dispel's good. I don't think I want the Blue Blast. Alright, Fiery Cannonade, great against the Fairy half of their deck, bad against the Pirate half of their deck. Chainer's Edict, not great against either part of their deck. I like Lightning Bolt, Ghastly Demise. I like most of this stuff. Pristine Talisman might be questionable. Crypt Incursion doesn't really do anything in the matchup except gain me life, so I don't think I want that. Justice was pretty good. It's not better than being the Monarch, but it is pretty good. Ghastly Demise, toughness in your graveyard, that shouldn't be hard to do. Yeah, I think the other Chainer's Edict can go too. Like, I'm just bringing in more efficient versions of all these same cards. Exclude, not bad. Gurmag Angler. Is Gurmag Angler the worst card left in this deck? They're not going to be ready for it, I don't think. Like, we saw the Echoing Truth in game 1. So all my Red Blasts have to come in. My Monarch cards have to come in. Dispel and Cast Down are optional from there. So Dispel only counters instants. Spellstarter Sprite is not an instant. Counterspell is. Cast Down Cast Down is better than Diabolic Edict. So I can make that upgrade. And Preordain just hangs into Spellstutter Sprite pretty poorly. Maybe I'll just trade that for the Dispel. Okay, let's do this. I'll keep this. I have the land in the Preordain. Try to hit land drops. This hand's pretty good otherwise. I am going to pick red as my backup color because I'm holding this Pyroblast. Want to have access to my spells. Really like to draw land here so I can hold up Pyroblast. Yeah, that counts. Yeah, like I want to hold this up. I can Frantic Inventory if they don't ninja. Alright, so they can't ninja on 1 mana. Do they have a land drop? Kinda, okay. So I'm gonna Frantic Inventory here. Alright, found a land. Frantic Inventory will get me up to 8 cards in hand, then I make my land drop. Yeah, I'm gonna resolve this while I can. Then I'll play the Isle. If I played Aqueduct there, I would have had to discard a card. That was the tiebreaker. Alright, didn't get ninja'd. That's lucky. I took a development turn, which isn't always the best idea to do, but didn't get punished for it. I am going to have to go to discard this turn unless I lightning bolt something. I guess we'll see if they take any actions in my end step that would merit a lightning bolt. I think I can discard Radiant Fountain. Yeah, the Aqueduct will hit my next 2 land drops. I'll probably just bolt this fairy in the end step if nothing else happens. They can Spellstutter this, but that taps them out coming into my turn where I'll have, to their knowledge, 5 mana. I know it's not that much, but they don't. So I'm good on lands. I'm gonna not... What you got here? Like, if this Preordain resolves, I'm gonna bottom any lands I see. Okay, so I can't fight over this. Like, I have cards that can counter the spell, but that's not the game I'm gonna play here. Like, this is the pivotal turn where if I fight over something like Spellstutter Sprite, I don't have the mana to fight over them becoming the Monarch, which is what actually matters. And I can't Red Blast a Ninja because it picks up the Spellstutter Sprite, which is now in their hand, to counter the Pyroblast, which is one of my favorite interactions in this deck. I have to wait until I untap with more mana. Alright, Cannonade's good. I'll name red with this. Now I have a bunch of other black sources. So I can't Cannonade with any sort of counterspell backup, unfortunately. I can Red Blast with a counterspell backup. I could just take another hit from this Ninja. They have 8 cards in hand already. The Ninja will draw another one. Like, they might end up going to discard and not gain the the card advantage anyway. All right, they did not use the ability. Interesting. I would have at least taken the loot, even if it's not raw card advantage like you want. Okay, so now I can Fiery Cannonade and Pyroblast. Lightning bolting me, okay. So, Cannonade. Yeah, I can Cannonade, Pyroblast Cannonade, and protect it all with Counterspell. So they're going to Spell Stutter Sprite this. I'm going to let Spell Stutter resolve. And then red Fiery Cannonade. And I have a Counterspell still remaining. But they could have Dispel or Red Blast or Spell Stutter here. Their deck is just so efficient. They're basically doing everything I'm doing, but better. And I can't even really jam this Pirate and become the Monarch because they can just take it back. So if I Teachings, what can I get here? I could get a Red Blast. I can answer the Ninja. Or I think I want Ghastly Demise to answer the Ninja, because that uses my mana better. Alright, get rid of that. Yeah, just trying to be the Monarch against a deck like this is just so hard. Other flash threats, flying, Spellstutter Sprite. This deck's good. Real good. Alright, so you become the Monarch. Now I might as well jam my Pirate because I need to be the Monarch. I need to at least contest the Monarch a little bit in play. Red. That's the wrong land. Red, 2, 3, 4. Yar. They don't even really need to counter this. They just need to attack me with Spellstutter Sprite next turn. Alright, but they want to counter it anyway. Alright, so time to draw Cast Down. Right, I'm gonna pause in my end step, see what I draw. Hopefully it answers Spellstutter Sprite. It does not. Alright, so Spellstutter Sprite can take the Monarch now. Augur of Bolas. Their cards are so much better than mine. I actually think I kind of hate how many new common Monarch cards Commander Legends brought to this format. They've already banned one of them, and like, I'm not just holding off, I'm just trying to get used to the play experience here. And the fact that someone is like, there's just so many cards you have to play around. It used to be like just like one in red, one in black. Now just everyone is always the Monarch. Yeah, they don't even care about this because they're winning the race. Yeah, I was losing that game if I attack, and I'm losing that game if I don't attack. So we lost to the best deck in Pauper. That's the deck I would be playing if it were up to me. On to the next round. I'm on the play for round 3. This is a mulligan. It doesn't have any mana. This one's fine. I'm going to keep this. I'm actually going to bottom the island because there are enough matchups where Radiant Fountain is good. that I think I want to keep that over the basic island. Oh, a basic mountain. We were just talking about how Radiant Fountain's good sometimes. Alright, so I'll get a black land for this. This is why I named red with this one, in case they had a creature on turn 1. Alright, so now I'm set up to preordain plus frantic inventory plus gain 2 life this turn. There's that Curse of the Pierced Heart. We know all about that one. Alright, so preordain. Don't want those. Alright, yeah, I think it's time to start digging. Alright, so I'm going to draw a lot of cards. Just have to find my Pristine Talismans to erase this Curse of the Pierced Heart. And now I actually have creatures in my deck that can attack once I'm there. Alright, gain a life. Probably should have frantic inventoried first, but here we are. In case I drew an untapped land, I could draw more cards. They have 3 cards left in their hand. I found a counter spell. Always welcome. So if I frantic inventory right now, I'll draw 3. I'll go up to 8 cards in hand, and I still have my land drop. So yeah, I'm still good to do that without going to discard. Alright, found Crypt Incursion. That has some life attached to it. I can play the Thriving Moor. I'm going to name blue. Alright, this is gain 3 currently. If they draw another creature, well, they didn't cast a spell or play a creature this whole turn cycle, so is their hand just mono land somehow already? Or they're just building up slowly, knowing that eventually this curse is going to kill me. Depends on what level they're on. They either know exactly how to play Pauper, or their hand just sucks. Come on, Gurmag Angler. Okay, I can Ghastly Demise that. So now Crypt Incursion's good for 6 life. Still going to be patient on it. Hey! Watch the difference here. Between this game and the one we played earlier. My opponent is now going to die very quickly instead of me dying very slowly. Okay. You can do one of those. I'll counter the second one. So that explains what they were sitting on this long. They had cards that only target creatures. So there was some virtual card advantage at play there. Alright, so still sitting on the Crypt Incursion. There's no one card they can draw that kills me. So I'm just hoping that they draw a creature. I get to exclude it, then I can Crypt Incursion for 9. Getting skewered, sure. Alright. I'll Crypt Incursion now. Should undo the next couple draw steps. Yeah, they just conceded to that. Gurmag Angler. That one card in the deck was the difference. Okay, Blue Blast, Dispel, Negate, all in. Cast Down is better than Chainer's Edict. Evankar's Justice, no thank you. Cannonade's fine. I think most of the edicts are like not the best. So I have a lot of spot removal, plus the Blue Blast coming in as additional spot removal. Exclude is a lot of mana for not a lot of payoff. Like most of their creatures, especially with them on the play, are going to be in before I have 3 mana. It's not really my plan to win this game. Bonder's Ornament, just a little slow. And gotta get rid of one more of these cards. Could just be the other Bonder's Ornament. I think it's either Ornament or one of the cover-ups. Like, now that my deck actually has creatures in it, I'm gonna cut one of the cover-ups. Because I don't need to loop my deck forever to beat them. I just need to find one of my 5-power creatures and end the game. Removal, counter spells, that's a keep. It's a little incidental life gain. Uh-oh. I will play this, naming red. That lets me answer this creature on turn 2, so I can minimize how much damage I take from it. Whether I gain the life from Dismal Backwater on turn 1 or turn 5, doesn't matter, it's still life gain. Alright, so guess I might as well just kill this thing. What am I waiting for? Didn't leave up a counterspell, so nothing to bluff. Oh, Keldon Marauders. Haven't seen that one in a while. Yeah, that's a 2-mana Lava Axe if it goes unchecked, which it looks like it's going to. It does put itself in the graveyard for Crypt Incursion though, so I'll undo some of that damage pretty quickly. Yeah, so it gets to attack for 3 once, then it vanishes and it dies, deals 1 damage on the way out, so they're going to get the full 5 off of this thing. And I get to Frantic Inventory in this end step. Oh god. Well, that sucks. But okay. That's still 3 mana for only 2 damage. It does kill one of my lands, which I'm not excited about. But as far as like rate goes, it's not good. I'll gain 1 life. So I just need to survive this turn. Like the Marauders is gonna die, so I'm not taking that 3. I'm at 7 from that. I can Crypt Incursion in my upkeep to gain 6. Just need to not die right now, basically. They just suspended a Rift Bolt. So I'm gonna name red for this, get my red mana back online. So I can counter Rift Bolt, and then I'm at 5 against 2 cards in hand, or I could Crypt Incursion, and then I'm at 12, or I'm at 9 against 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I think Incursion's better. Alright, up to 12. I gotta find a blue blast for this Curse of the Pierced Heart. I can Teachings for it next turn. If they don't burn me out right now, we'll be okay. Alright, cool. So now I'm holding up counter spells. The only repeatable source of damage is the Curse. So I'm going to Teachings in the end step. They could burn me out in response, but I got to do what I got to do. Blue Elemental Blast. Oh yeah, they just conceded to that. They knew they were all in on that Curse, and the rest of my hand is going to be too good. All right, Gurmag Angler, the difference between winning and losing against Burn. Next round. I'm on the draw with this hand. This is a keep. It's got all my colors. They come into play tapped for the most part, but they are all there. Uh-oh, we're playing against Bogles. I'm gonna name red for this. So the good news is I can ice this land, which is going to slow them down a lot next turn, because it's basically going to take them off 2 mana. The bad news is if they play a hexproof creature, that's hard for me to beat. Yeah, they're just digging in on this land to get iced. All right, so this is going to be a pretty big tempo play. See if it matters. Yeah, like trying to get a counterspell up before they get their first creature in play is a huge deal. Oh, maybe this isn't Bogles. What are they doing with this Arbor Elf? Okay, now I have Exclude up, so I feel a lot better. I could abrade this Arbor Elf, but I think going after the payoff is going to be better than denying the mana. Guess we'll see. Is this like Ponza? Are they just going to Stone Rain me here? I hope they just cast like some big creature. Haste, Cascade. Cascade into Arbor Elf. You'll love to see it. Even though I can answer this pirate with the plethora of removal in my hand, I want to use my mana most efficiently right now. All right, this Arbor Elf has gotten in. All right, I'm going to play the Pristine Talisman and hold up a Braid here, or Frantic Inventory. And start gaining life. This is a 6/3, so a Braid can deal with it. Here comes another one. Bonder's Ornament. Oh, wow. That's going to be fun when we both have one of those. I wonder if I should take 3, or take 6, just to abrade the Bonder's Ornament instead of... Like, I can untap and cast down this creature. Yeah, I think outdrawing them is going to be more important than my life total in the immediate present. Yeah, your life total is a resource, use it. They're going to get 1 card off this Bonder's Ornament, and then it'll be gone. Alright, then I have 1 of my own. I guess I don't need to cast down immediately. That card is an instant. I can see what they do on their turn. Not a legend, fortunately. There is nothing particularly fantastical happening in this art, I just noticed. Like, these are all just regular human pirates. Oh, this is the archetype. They are just cascading. Oh no. This is a monarch card. Oh, that sucks. Ugh. Okay, yeah, as long as they weren't the monarch, this was all manageable. I was 1 mana short of being able to counter the thing that made them the monarch. Now we're in trouble. Need to draw my own monarch guy. Edict will just eat a Arbor Elf at this point. So I think starting with this will make the most sense, see where we can get to. Well, okay. Is it better to Edict an Arbor Elf or get Bonder's Ornament and play for next turn? I mean, for 1 damage, yeah, let's ramp. These fucking Monarch cards, there's so many, and every color has them. I think that this might be like fine to plan a way to build around it, but being just like this Grixis control deck with a creatureless Grixis control deck in this Monarch format is not going to work. I think that there's just significant structural flaws with a deck like this, if this is how the format looks right now. All right, Ob Nixilis is Cruelty. My own Monarch creature. Don't think I want Blue Blast, although they did show me a number of red cards. Like the Pirate. But countering it and removing it in play is the same thing, because Cascade still happens. I don't think I want Suffocating Fumes just for Arbor Elves. I might want maximum just removal. Like, I think surviving their initial burst and then being or taking or contesting the Monarch is how I'm going to win this game. Yeah, it seems like you can't really have too many count or removal spells in this matchup. Fiery Cannonade. I don't think I want that. That only hits Arbor Elf out of the creatures I've seen. This Edict also only hits Arbor Elf for the most part. Maybe I do want the cover up over something else, just as another counter spell to contest the Monarch. Like, fighting the Monarch on the stack is probably, I'm better at that than fighting it in play. Chainer's Edict versus Diabolic Edict. Alright, I think Chainer's Edict is the worst card left here. In we go. This hand is not exciting. It does have cover up. It does develop its mana. I think I've got to mulligan that. I like this one better. With the two counterspells, oh, I have mismatched counterspells too, I just noticed that. I am an absolute monster. Okay, I'm gonna put cover up on the bottom. I'm gonna name red for this because I have a black source in hand. Arbor Elf's in play now. Gotcha with the Bojuka Bog. I could have bogged myself for style points. Maybe I should have. So Diabolic Edict. I mean, if it gets Arbor Elf now, it'll get Arbor Elf 4 turns from now, so that doesn't really matter. Oh, they have 4 mana right now. That quick jump. Relic of Progenitus. Is that even good? I guess I did show them some cards that care about the graveyard, so yeah, I guess, sure. I can see it. Alright, and I'm just going to Edict them now. I can't counterspell anyway. The Arbor Elf now is the same as any other time. Gonna need another blue source for this game. Alright, they didn't cash in to draw a card right away. The backup elf. Come on, deck. Land. Preferably an untapped blue source. Alright, I'll take that. That's a reasonable consolation prize if I didn't get my untapped land. I hope they jam the Monarch creature, and I can just counter it. Looks like that's going to be a pirate party. Llanowar Visionary. Yeah, I'm going to counter the pirate. Right, they have a lot of mana, so that's not the axis I'm going to win this game on. Like, trying to cast down the Arbor Elf is what I was thinking, and that's just not gonna work. But Edict is not gonna get any better. Like they're gonna sack the Visionary probably. There's Elf taps for 2, Visionary taps for 1. And they already got a card off Elvish Visionary, which came off a card for free with Cascade. Yeah, I've ended up missing some land drops here, which is gonna end up losing me the game. If they can become the Monarch right now, I'm just gonna get buried. Alright, that's not the Monarch, but they still have enough mana to cast Monarch stuff. Alright, now they don't. Okay. How about that untapped blue source deck? It's about time. Yeah, if I have a untapped blue source, I think I just pass the turn with cast down, counterspell up. Like there's no reason to cast down one of these creatures. Alright. Basic island, please. Ugh. I mean, that could be worse. Now if they draw cards, I draw cards. That is also a blue source for next turn. Just gotta see where this goes. They're tapping a lot of mana. Annoyed Altasaur. Hey, that's me. Oh god, it hit the boarding party. They're going off. Well, that's 12 power in play suddenly. Some of it has haste. Yeah, missing land drops, it turns out, in your control deck. Not a good plan. They even had the Ancient Grudge for my Bonder's Ornament. Absolute nightmare. Oh, look who decided to show up. This is going to be way too late, but I'm going to keep playing it. Yeah, and these relics just sitting in play are just free draws. Like they can cantrip those out of here anytime. Cash them in for cards. Clearly not using my graveyard for fun and profit right now. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Yeah, they can cast another banger. Woof. And now they're the Monarch on top of everything else. So, trying to think, I don't even think I have an out to this situation at all. Like if I could cheat and stack my deck, what would I do here? And I don't know the answer. So I can 4, 5, 6, 7. I can go to 3, cast Mystical Teachings, and then question mark. Yeah, that Altasaur cascading into boarding party was a complete nightmare. Might have been able to play this game a little longer if that just hit the Relic of Progenitus the first time, but it'll cascade Arena, too good. Right, they didn't attack with Arbor Elf, which would have put me dead to Lightning Bolt. So they're either holding up mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're holding up for. What do I want? What even helps here? Crypt Incursion is something. I guess Cast Down can kill the Entourage. It kills their biggest creature for the lowest amount of mana. Just about all I got going on here. Yeah, let's get you out of here. Still at 1 to their attacks with just Arbor Elf, and they are a Lightning Bolt deck. They're about to draw 2 with Bonder's Ornament. And the Relic is still just sitting there as another card in play. I'll play it out for you all, but I'm not winning. Yeah, like Lightning Bolt right now does it. Anything at all does it. Like if they just attack, pass the turn, attack, my hand can't interact with that line. And even if I do get to counter something, it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just full checkmated here. And I'll exclude it because I can, but this could just be baiting for the Lightning Bolt. Yep. My thoughts from the end of game 1 still ring true, which are trying to be a classic control deck in this Monarch-driven world. It seems like a huge mistake. I guess this technically buys me another turn. Maybe. I'm at 1. Good thing their deck isn't full of haste threats and lightning bolts. And good thing they're not drawing 4 cards a turn, or else this match would be hard. Alright, 1 life remains. Their hand is probably 4 lightning bolts, and they're just like seeing what I can string together, how long I can pretend I'm in this game. Oh, they're going off. Yep. You're the Monarch again. Good job. Dead to Arbor Elf. Alright. GG's. Alright, 1 match left to play. And let's see if it's another Monarch deck. It seems like the Monarch is the best thing you can be doing in Pauper, and with all these new cards, basically every color can do it. Every color has multiple ways to become the Monarch and be happy about it. So me over here with my creatureless deck, my creatureless control deck, trying to run my opponent out of cards and everyone's the Monarch. Not a fan, but that is important feedback for anyone who would want to play a deck like this. Right, on the draw in the last round, I can't keep this hand. This is much better. I'm going to send Ash Barrens to the bottom. Shouldn't need it. Ooh, Affinity. I found someone else who is playing Magic or playing Pauper in a different year than I am, so that's perfect. They're unlikely to become the Monarch very quickly. I hope they just cast Atog and I can Chainer's Edict it. This deck looks like it was built in the same era of Magic as mine was, so hopefully it lines up correctly. I don't need all these lands. Thriving Isle, name red. See how many creatures can they get into play at the same time to play around Chainer's Edict. But if they go wide around Edict, then Cannonade gets them. Another Preordain. Another Chainer's Edict. I don't think I want Justice, because they have Metalcraft. Most of their creatures are going to be 3/3s or 4/4s, or better. I have a lot of black sources, so I'm going to name red again on this one. Second Edict feels good. Now if they try to go wide, should be able to control some of it. Ooh. Are they just going to kill me from 21 with makeshift munitions? What is this deck? How does it work? Tell me more. Right, so they dealt 1 to me and drew a card with Chromatic Star. Alright, I like a Frantic Inventory. Alright, drawing Cast down. I'm just gonna Bojuka Bog them, get this tap land into play. Like, I don't think it's gonna do anything. The munitions does turn on my removal spell into damage for them, but that's not what they want to be doing at all. So Edict, the cast down. Oh, having a second cast down is even better. Yeah, so I want to see what they commit to this Atog as I cast it down. I could even wait for them to sacrifice something. Mirror Enforcer, okay. I'm gonna see if they sack anything to the Atog. Alright, looks like they didn't, so I'll just cast it. See, if they want to respond by sacking all their artifacts and flinging it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Getting Galvanic Blasted, okay. That was a weird time to do that, but sure. Ichor Wellspring, alright. Another Enforcer. Alright, so those can both take an Edict. This one will get the Chainer variety. And I'll give them both the Chainer variety and keep up the Diabolic version. They have 3 cards left, and I have 3 removal spells in my hand. They could have threw that one at me with Makeshift Munitions, but they didn't. Because they probably want to fling the Wellspring to draw the card. Guess that's the plan. Is this in Commander Legends as a common? Because this is clearly an uncommon here. Must be in Commander Legends or Jumpstart or something. I don't know. Yeah, this effect doesn't feel common. That's why I looked. I was like, suspicious activity. Alright, so I have 4 answers to their 4 cards in hand. I would like a Prismatic, or not, a Bonder's Ornament, or the Gain Life thing. Getting combo killed is the only way I can lose this game. Like if they nickel and dime me down with Makeshift Munitions, or if they fling an Atog at me, like that's really the only way I can lose. So I'd like to gain some life and draw some cards before that becomes a possibility. The counterspell goes a long way to keep me from getting flinged. Flunged. Flanged. Alright, so they fling that for 5. Is this the fight I'm looking for? Yeah, sure. Like they do have a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they have 9 damage in play just with the Makeshift Munitions, so going to 10 against that setup doesn't seem like the best plan. Yep, whoever finds a way to pull ahead first is going to win this game. I play more of them, so hopefully I would draw one sooner. Okay. I mean, that's good. That gains me a shitload of life. There have been versions of Affinity in the past that play Reap the Graves, but I hope this isn't one of them. Can cast this down and get 3 extra life off of it with the Crypt Incursion. I'm just going to kill this thing. Kind of hope they do fling it in response. Yeah, that's just less flings in their deck. And it's also a 2-for-1. I'm not going to cast Crypt Incursion right now because they do play Metallic Rebuke sometimes, which is not a card I want to lose to. So I can play around it here. Let's gain 15 life. It should get me out of makeshift munitions range. Unless they have like Galvanic Blast plus munitions. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm still at 1 to that, so hopefully this gets the job done. I have been impressed with Crypt Incursion. Just the number of matchups that end up coming down to damage races and Pauper. It's pretty cool. Alright, they had the Galvanic Blast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and it's just, they don't have enough mana to throw all their permanents at me. So why would they Galv Blast in response there if they can't kill me? I feel like there's a better use for that. Well, that was a shitty top deck. Oh, it doesn't matter. I have Chainer's Edicts. Never mind. I forgot it's 2015. Chonk. They could have thrown that at me with makeshift munitions too. They've missed at least 3 damage with those munitions. And last turn, when they could have put me to like 2, I think the 2 damage they missed earlier might have been the lethal. I'm not trying to harp on my opponent's play, just for the education of everyone watching. That's why those little edges, those like little technical decisions matter. I'm pretty sure I should have lost this game. All right, now I'm feeling pretty good. Like, exclude checks in a Tog or a Serpent, which are really the only creatures big enough for me to care about. And eventually I'll pull ahead. Like, it just takes 1 Teachings, 1 Bonder's Ornament. My Monarch Pirate, Gurmag Angler. But once again, it is nice that I'm playing to my Monarch Pirate or Gurmag Angler, because the original list didn't have any of those, and we would just be settled in for a Devious cover-up game, which I would absolutely lose to Makeshift Munitions. Like, that card would literally just be unbeatable. Alright, I'm going to exclude this. I could have Gaslinomized it, but I do want to... I'm getting impatient, and I shouldn't. I really should just slow my roll. I had multiple answers to that. That was a really bad exclude, honestly. So I gotta check my shit. Alright, now this is looking better. Now I can start bonding. I guess excluding Core Skyfisher was worth a couple of cards because it would have picked up the Prophetic Prism. I'm not gonna pretend to justify it in retrospect. I think I should have used my removal spells where they're applicable and saved my non-removal spells, my counter spells, for where they're important. Yeah, now if they just ATOG plus Fling, I would honestly be super annoyed if that was what they did. Because they've played 2 Flings already. Alright, Atog is a monster though. A second one, okay. So I'm gonna Fiery Cannonade in the end step rather than Bonder's Ornament. Does that make any sense? I think it does. So they have to sacrifice 2 artifacts to keep. Oh wow, they just F6'd. Whoops. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Yeah, they could have pretty easily sacrificed some artifacts there. Alright, yeah, now they're just gaining life. Now this Mystical Teaching should pull me way ahead. I'm going to get Frantic Inventory with the front end of Teachings. I'm going to get Teachings with the back end of Teachings. I'm going to activate Bonder's Ornament. So I should be able to pull ahead pretty far right now. Another Inventory. Draw 3. Draw again. Just looking for one of my win conditions now. Devious Cover-Up's kind of a win condition. Not that one. Bottom, bottom. There it is. Easy money. So Preordain, Preordain, Cast Down, Counterspell, Crypt Incursion, Exclude. Alright, there's that. That should win the game pretty quickly from here. Play this, pick up a Swamp. Alright, I got counterspells, lots of them. I guess they could sack 5 artifacts to kill Gurmag Angler. Is this any target? Yeah, it is. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine with me. I can Devious Cover-Up to put the Gurmag Angler back in my deck. Just keep the party going. Every artifact they throw at Gurmag Angler is not an artifact they're throwing at my face. It's also one less artifact for an Atog, but they've already used 3 of those. There's only 1 left. But they're doing what they have to do, and I respect that. As they're not winning the game against this Gurmag. Alright, so I'm going to Teachings for Teachings in the end step. Teachings for Teachings. Didn't have enough mana to bond at the end of all that. Let's see, yeah, they're going to concede to that, sure. Alright, yep. The eras lined up. They didn't become the Monarch at any point, so I got to beat them. And that is mostly how that works. So Dispel is coming in. That counters the Fling. It's very important. Blue Elemental Blast. I'm gonna bring in Negate and some number of Blue Elemental Blast to be determined. Cast Down's good. Edict's okay. Like dealing with the Atog Fling combo is the most important part of this matchup. And I'm built to control board states. That's not great. Fire Ice. It doesn't actually like kill things. Ghastly Demise is kind of sus. Like they might bring in Graveyard Hate, and also Atog can outgrow a Ghastly Demise pretty quickly. I don't think I want Fiery Cannonades. Like I didn't see Frogmites or really anything that would make me want to sweep up with Cannonade. Oh, I want Gorilla Shaman, duh. This thing's been hiding in my sideboard the whole game. So the way Gorilla Shaman works, if you're not familiar with Pauper, is 1XX, destroy target non-creature artifact with converted mana cost X. They play almost exclusively artifact lands, so for 1 mana you can destroy a target land with Gorilla Shaman. And that's pretty powerful. So Pristine Talisman is okay. I think I want the Crypt Incursion more though. Maybe I don't need the Crimson Fleet Commodore, not the second one. Yeah, I think I like this setup. Alright, let's do this. A second Blue Elemental Blast might be correct, but I'm already in here now. I'll keep this. It's got lands and stuff. It might be a little slow with the enters the battlefield tapped lands, and alright, finding the 3rd land is a big relief. Naming black on the first one here, in case I need to Edict on turn 2. Ooh, Thraben Inspector. That card is pretty good against Diabolic Edict. Alright, black. I'll name red on this one, get all my colors set up. Alright, Thraben Inspector is a reason to have Fiery Cannonade still in the deck. I think leaving up Counterspell on this turn is better than edicting the Thraben Inspector. I was gonna edict the Inspector until I drew Counterspell. Hopefully I can counter something relevant here. Yeah, that's a 2/3 that draws an extra card with either Wellspring or Thraben Inspector. If they have like Red Blast here, that's fine. Let's start having these exchanges now. Yep, that's cool. They're gonna have some number of those, so might as well work through them. See if they pick up Wellspring. Yes, that was the best answer. I was hoping they would pick up the Inspector. I think they should have picked up Wellspring though. Because Inspector takes 3 mana to draw the first card, and Wellspring draws one for 2, so I think it's just way better to not do that. Alright, this exclusively enters the battlefield tap mana base has worked out so far. They even gave us a window to Chainer's Edict, a creature that was bigger than a 1/2. Cast down, like that. So I'm gonna Bonder's Ornament and hold up Cast down. This is such a crazy card. Like, this was just in a commander set, right? Like, that's... They could have just printed this at uncommon and it wouldn't have affected any packs at all. Like, it just comes in whatever box it... whatever precon it comes in. Alright, the slow beatdown begins. Thoughtcast is a powerful card. And me without any sweepers. What I do have, though, is Gurmag Angler. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's Gurmag time. I don't mind exiling the Chainer's Edict, because like getting ahead on this board right now is what's going to matter. Plus, if they do play Graveyard Hate, I want to cash in my graveyard before it's too late. If they want to 2-for-1 themselves by like double Galvanic Blasting this, that's not a big deal to me. Yeah, here it comes. Oh, 2-for-1, baby. I guess they sacrificed the Wellspring and it's not a 2-for-1. Okay, they sacked a Clue instead of the Wellspring. What are they protecting this Wellspring for? Like, they didn't bounce it with the core, and they didn't sack it to munitions and draw a card. Like, they sacked an actual like thing that can draw a card itself. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm just gonna pass here. My hand is full of reactive options, plus I can Mystical Teachings for additional options. That's not the fight I'm gonna fight. I want to point my counter spells and removal spells at their payoffs. I'm not going to counter a Thoughtcast. This game's going to go long. They're going to draw all those cards anyway. I'm going to go for Mystical Teachings for Frantic Study. Is that what that card's called? Whatever that card is called. The Accumulated Knowledge. Alright, so I will do the same thing in this end step, but I will tap my mana correctly so I can counterspell to fight back. Just have to manage my life total so I don't end up dying to this munitions. Thraben Inspector, just best card in their deck. Oh, I had Bonder's Ornament last turn. I could have cast Counterspell. What do I know? Alright. You went face in response. Got me. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 artifacts in play to my 13 life. I think I might just have to get Blue Blast here. Yeah, I'm gonna zap this. I think if they had another counterspell, they would have kept fighting over teachings, but let's get rid of these munitions before they kill me. They can only deal 3 damage with it right now. They're sacking clues again. Are they? No, they sacked a land that time? Okay, finally sacked the Wellspring. I would have started with that, but I'm not the expert affinity player here. Haha. I don't know if that matters. That probably hurts me more than it hurts them, because now my Crypt Incursion isn't good. Did I leave Crypt Incursion in? I did, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was probably worse for me than it was for them. I accept my fate. So I can activate Bonder's Ornament and hold up Counterspell now, just in case they try to burn me out in response, but I do need to get on this board. With them at 2 cards left in their hand, I'm more willing to fight over any of those 2-for-1s. Alright, that I can just kill. I'm gonna draw a card first. Exclude. How many red sources do I have? I have 2 red sources. Yeah, another one. Sounds good. I have a lot of black. I'm gonna kill this now while they can't fling me. They only have the 1 mana available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can Teachings in the end step. If they don't cast something I need to exclude. Yuck. It's not what you want to see them draw in a top deck war. Alright, I'll exclude that. I'm dead to Galvanic Blast next turn, if I don't figure this out pretty quick. Alright, Navigator's Compass. This is not the matchup that's for. Oh, thank you. Sweet breathing room. I guess I should cast something, or if I'm going to activate Bonder. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably should have cast Teachings instead of do that. Alright, found Preordain. The game's not over yet. Alright, I will hold on to that Lightning Bolt. Witching Well is pretty good. They have a lot of good top decks in these top deck wars, it seems. Like Thoughtcast and Wishing Well is like a build your own Thoughtcast. They bought them both. I like that. Alright, they're real creatures. Lightning Bolt can't kill anyway, so I'm going for it with on the Inspector. It just doubles my clock that I have to work with. Still got a graveyard full of Teachings. Ooh, that was good. I'll start with this. Probably should have saved my land drop. Just a master of sequencing here. So, do they have the Red Blast? Oh, they're Witching Welling looking for the Red Blast. And they found Galvanic Blast, alright. I think I'm just going to get Crypt Incursion and gain 9 life. Yeah, they're firing off these galvanic blasts like they have a plan. Oh, it was 12 life. There's a creature I didn't even see. Even better. Would have been a lot more if I didn't bog them. Whoops. Uh-oh. Did they have the fling? I'm dead to fling. Oh no, they have fling. Are you kidding? The last card in hand is fling? After all this? Tried so hard? They don't have any red mana. Oh my god. Did they just misclick their way and sack their Great Furnace? Sack all their shit without floating red? Wow. Yeah, they needed to make red with that Prophetic Prism before they sacked it. That's embarrassing. Alright. This deck, I appreciate the style it's going for. I love playing this type of deck. I just think that with all the new Monarch cards, every deck can be the Monarch, and the only decks that we beat were Burn and Affinity, which are decks from 2 years ago, which is this deck is also from 2 years ago. Like, we have the Fiery Cannonade, we have a couple of Monarch creatures of our own here, but like, that's not the same as being a Monarch deck. This is not updated to keep up with decks that want to be the Monarch and want to keep the Monarch. So, as much fun as I had playing this, I love the play style. I don't think this is particularly competitive right now. I'm sorry, Oliver, to break the news, and yeah, I just can't see this being competitive when you have to fight the Monarch. If you want to overload your own Monarch cards, like play a bunch of Thorn of the Black Rose so you can just take the Monarch back on an empty board, or you're going to need to add some flash creatures or some haste creatures or something that to fight for the Monarch in combat, because this deck, especially the as built before I added the 2 creatures to it, just literally cannot reclaim the Monarch once you don't have it. So it's not going to work. You know how I feel about it at this point. We had some good games, but in general, if your opponent becomes the Monarch, you lose, and that's not a place you can be in Pauper right now. Thanks for the sweet deck, though. If you want to see me play your deck, make sure to get in touch with me. We'll set it up. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Adios, everybody.